God loves to declare things into our lives. He loves to speak to us. God didn't write a book and lose his voice, no matter what some people think. God wrote a book and then he's talking to you about it because he wants you to know the author. And, the written word was preceded by the spoken word. So the written word is not everything, it's part of everything. Yeah, but even the Bible began as a prophecy because God spoke to Moses and said, dude, write this down, right? The Bible began as a prophecy. It was a spoken word and then it became a written word. So you can't now have the written word and outlaw the spoken word. That doesn't make sense. That's not kingdom. I don't know, that's legalism. It's not kingdom. So here's the thing is, the Lord has designs on all of us, so we're going to choose one of my favorite characters. Abraham's had a few visitations from the Lord, and he's visited on this occasion by the Lord and two angels. It's just a normal Tuesday. And in preceding times, the Lord has talked to him about, having a son. And Sarah is barren, and both of them are getting older and older. And so, the clock is not ticking, it's almost dead. So anyway, this is like the 5th time that God has visited him. And they're chatting away, and having a great time and eating together. And then Abraham is kind of like, they start walking away and Abraham's walking them off the land. And here's the thing about the Lord. You have to stay until the final minute because usually that's when stuff happens. Yeah. You have to stay at the end. It's like, in England, we say, in soccer, great fans stay till the end. And if you supported my team, they only ever scored in the last 2 minutes. They won more games in the last 5 minutes than they had any business winning. So I always stayed right till the whistle went because something would happen. And it's a lot, following my team is a lot like walking with the Lord. Everything happens in the last minute of something. So you got to hang with it. Really, when you're in a time of visitation, pay as much attention to the last period of it as you do to the initial appearance. Sometimes, God shows up and we all go gaga, and we don't pay attention to every single thing that's happening. And so let me read you this from Genesis 18, verse 16. The men rose up from there and looked down toward Sodom, and Abraham was walking with them to send them off. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do, since Abraham will surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth will be blessed. For I have known him and chosen him, so that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, just so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him. The most powerful single word in that passage is the word since. That's the hinge. That's the piece that everything hinges on, the word since. Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do, since he will surely become this? So, in other words, I need to say these things to Abraham because of who he is going to be. So the Lord knows Abraham's childless and praying and concerned about having an heir. And the only thing the Lord can see is, oh my God, Abraham's going to be so big. He's going to be like the father of nations. So God sees the big picture, whereas Abraham can't even see the small one. He sees the big thing. Shall I declare to him? That's what he's saying. Shall I declare to Abraham what I'm about to do because he's going to become that? So God speaks to you in the present because he already knows your future. So here's the thing. This is the important thing here. God doesn't speak to you in the present because of what is happening in the present. He speaks to you in the present because of your future that he sees. So even if you're screwing things up right now, he doesn't speak into your present as your present. He speaks into your present because of the future, because of what he sees about you. He talks to you today because he knows the end from the beginning, and he's going to bring you that outcome into your present. I love that about the Lord. I love the fact that I'm going to talk to you because of who you're going to be. I'm going to talk to you because of how I see you. I'm going to talk to you because of all the things that are on the horizon that you're going to be doing. I'm going to talk to you here because I see you bigger than you actually are right now. Shall I hide really means I choose to include Abraham with this conversation because I need him to see this. Because really the issue in his life right now is not about one child. It's about him growing to be big enough to be the father of nations. It's about him being known as something much bigger than he's incapable of seeing right now here.